fucking idiot that I am, told her I liked her. And then she said, I love you, but not like that.
No woman will ever want me. The reasons why no woman will ever want me and why I'll never have a girlfriend and especially a wife and children of my own is because of the fact that I have no confidence.
They've ignored someone like me who isn't amazingly attractive. I don't have hench arms. I don't talk about my gains, but I'm a nice guy. I'm a nerd, alright? But you won't pick me. You won't come over to me.
So I just left the restaurant after waiting 30 minutes for a date to show up, and apparently I got stood up. I don't know what to say. Like, I'm trying to do everything right to be a gentleman. I brought flowers. I've been consistent talking with this girl for 2 weeks, trying to get to know what she likes, what she doesn't like. I'm just looking for my person. I'm just looking for the one that I guess is out there for me. I'm trying to do everything that's right, and I just get stood up.
So hopefully the lighting is enough and you can actually see me because the screen's a bit black. But anyway, yeah, that clip. I just saw it on Instagram and thought I'll give my thoughts on it. Right, from a perspective of I used to be there. Yeah, I used to be that kind of person of why don't anyone like me? What's this? But I think you got to understand from other people's point of view as well, which is a bit of harsh reality that if you are unfortunately not in shape and, you know, like the last guy, unfortunately, he does have a bit of I think it might be a disability with his eye and everything. And the second guy, he looks to be, if he has like some terminal illness, that kind of thing. Like, you can't control certain aspects of your life. You genuinely can't control if you were born without a leg. You can't control if you were born in a different way. But what you can control is really your fitness and, you know, putting in work to yourself. Because I get it. We all want to be loved. I want to be loved. Like hell. I just got out of a 1.5 year relationship 3 months ago. And fucking hell, I want to be loved again. I haven't felt that, you know, really loved in a long, long time. Even during the relationship itself, I didn't feel loved I haven't felt loved by that person for probably 9 months now. And that's me being honest. So, when it comes to you're a person like these guys. You're, you know, wanting someone to actually love you. But I'll give you a bit of dose of reality. It doesn't work that way. By literally, how do I say this? Literally not putting much into yourself isn't going to come with much reward. Because unfortunately for us men, we are valued on what we can deliver. Which Chris Rock and many others do agree with me on that. Because the only person who will love you unconditionally is probably the woman that will love you unconditionally is your daughter or your mother and your grandparents, you know, blood related. Those kinds of relationships are essential. I do agree. Like, I just have my mum, I have my one grandma that's, you know, alive. And that's pretty much it. The only women in my life that properly love me. And yeah, I want that, you know, relationship that I wish for a relationship that loves me unconditionally, but that's not the case because that's just the unfortunate stuff of it. Because say if I gained like 50 pounds of pure fat, I'm pretty sure I'll become less attractive than I already am. Like, you gotta see it from a woman's point of view. If a man looks like he doesn't look after himself, he's fat, he doesn't do his beard properly, he has a bit of acne, you know, all that kind of stuff does put a bad perception on you. And I'm not saying these guys are completely fucked that are in the video. Like, honestly, even the guy with the wonky eye can, you know, better himself. He does look a bit obese, so if he gets into shape, he'll feel not only better about himself purely because exercise makes you more confident. If you got that body, you know, so many people aspire to have, you will have that confidence. Like, I gained a lot of confidence by going from basically a twig to whatever the hell I am now, which you'll see at the end of this, you know, thing. But yeah, I used to be like that. I'll be honest. I dreamed every night, you know, I'll have something like that, and I still do, you know. But I know I've got to put in the work for myself, because it all comes down to purpose. Because people like to think, I like to call them wanderers almost, because they wander without a purpose. They go to bars, they get drunk, they go to clubs, get drunk, they, you know, just exist purely. Like, they don't have a purpose until they have like a child or something, because then that becomes your purpose. But I believe as a guy, you should just have like more of a purpose. So like, say for example, you're a creative guy. You are incredibly good at drawing. You are, you know, extremely talented at your own ideas. Turn that into your purpose. If you're a plumber and you don't mind the smell of shit and you like, you know, like the money, that's your purpose, you know. You gotta find something outside yourself, you know, something that will make you happy. That will be your purpose. Because yes, a woman is very nice to have. Like, even for the women watching, a man is very nice to have, but sometimes it doesn't come that way. Less so for women, but more for men. It's like, you gotta put that effort into yourself. And trust me when I say this, you will feel 10 times better by, you know, literally putting in that effort and, you know, getting a reward out of it. Because I can tell you, I'm quite proud of where I, you know, came from. You know, I was skinny. I was like down to the bone skinny. I didn't have much on me, you know. And I managed to build a physique that I could fucking dream of. You know, I've hit PRs I could only, you know, dream of. That's what's made me so confident. That's what made me, because, you know, I wouldn't be doing this shit 2 years ago or even 1 year ago. And now, look at me, I'm doing these videos. You know, I started off with a squatting compilation of my squats of the year, basically. And now I'm doing this sort of content where I'm just like trying to, you know, give advice as well, showing my workouts and everything, because I do believe there is some value in just, you know, me talking, because I'm a normal person. I've gone through life, and yeah, life sucks sometimes, but you gotta put that effort into yourself, and trust me, you'll feel 10 times better. Because, I mean, if I look at all my friends that have put that effort in, they're a lot happier than they used to be. I can tell you that much. So, yeah. That's all I can really say is, no matter your, you know, point in life, like, let's just say you're like the last guy, you have a bit of a wonky eye. You can still put some effort into yourself. And trust me, it's better off being fit and having a wonky eye than being obese and a wonky eye. But I'm not trying to flame the guy. He seems like a very nice guy. And honestly, I wish the best for him. But you gotta put that effort in. You can't just like put so much effort into getting somebody, because that doesn't get much in return, in my opinion. But anyway, we'll go on to my basically upper body day. Yeah, and yeah, you'll get to see upper body day, and it wasn't that long, but yeah. Thanks for watching the segment, and please enjoy my commentary over my workout. So, beginning off with some chest flies. Still no bench for now, just so my rotator cuff recovers fully. And as soon as it's recovered, I can get back to benching, which will be amazing. But yeah, some good chest flies here, just starting off like top set probably for 2, and then make my way down as I go along. So probably the top set today was like 25 each side. So I mean, it's not that impressive, but it's just so I can grow my chest as well as maintain my strength while, periodically injured, as these chest flies don't like irritate my shoulder as much, and if I were to do any pressing movement, it would just like fuck up my shoulder. So I'm just trying to save my shoulder, but also get some fucking gains as well. Like I'm not gonna be gainsless and bitchless for this entire block. So I'm just trying to get a good chest and strong chest. So hopefully by doing this and then doing my skull crushers as well, which I do, my bench won't be as terrible as I may think it may be when I get back to it and my shoulder's fully recovered. Yeah. Honestly, the max might be 120 or something, but yeah. I'll have to see anyway. I'm not at that moment yet. So, yeah. See, maturing in the gym is when you don't decide to constantly irritate the shoulder, and you decide, you know what, I'd rather have my shoulder intact, for once. And yeah, I learned my lesson from my hip flexor, so I'm not gonna overfuck myself, so I can recover a lot faster. But yeah, anyway, on to some lateral raises with the cables, also known as Y raises. I don't know why, but wait, get that. But anyway, yeah, some Y raises. I do prefer these over dumbbells, and I would say they have done me some good. I mean, if you look at my shoulders, they are probably my most dominant part of my physique. But also, it just comes with like a effort, and because shoulders can be quite stubborn. I get it. Like, some people are a bit narrow, some people are a lot wider, like myself. I have wider clavicles, but it's all about how much you put into it and everything. I mean, I went from like 2 sets to a drop set, so that's all I really need for my shoulders to grow or maintain, shall I say, because sometimes you don't know if you're growing, but I'd say my shoulders are fine. They're growing at the rate I want them to. So yeah, this is the only movement I do for shoulders. However, sometimes I may do some face pulls, which sort of stimulate the rear delt, but honestly it feels like a trap movement. But yeah, I just do these just purely because I can get wider, but also I don't really want to overdo my shoulders. Like, I don't mean that in a other way, but like, I need my arms to catch up as well, because yeah. And also, I don't see the point in doing some front delt activity, because in my personal opinion, your pressing movements, like I did incline and I did bench press before my rotator cuff decided to out itself, and I just thought, yeah, I'd do it anyway, so no point in it. But anyway, onto some cable extensions. So like some tricep extensions, just to get the tricep all warmed up for some push downs. This is just like a bit of a like pre-movement, you know, before going on to, you know, the actual set of push downs, which is sort of like my main activity for triceps. But with this, I activate like the long head, which I'm pretty sure you can see in one bit. You know, it's the bigger bit of your tricep, and I tend to find by pre-exhausting it, I can, you know, stimulate it more when I go into tricep push down, and it honestly feels like 10 times better. I would suggest doing it if you are struggling with tricep growth. I know I used to, because I had some twig noodle arms, you know, and I managed to get them to, you know, quite some decent size, you know, 18 inches of arm, which is quite impressive, seeing as I probably went from like goddamn 11 inch arms or something. I don't know, but I'm very happy with my progress. But anyway, on to some push downs. And as you can see, I am pretending to be Kevin Levrone, which, if I'm being honest, I don't have the tan or, you know, anything to do with Kevin Levrone, to be honest, because one, completely different race, and two, he's absolutely massive. So I don't think I compare to the great underdog Kevin Levrone. But yeah, I do like my tricep push downs though, because honestly I feel them a lot more, and yeah, I'd say they're probably your baseline for, you know, building some triceps. And I'd say skull crushers are good, but that's just purely for strength for me. I don't really do it for size. But I've just noticed a considerable amount of size being put on my triceps when I do the pre-exhaust and then do, you know, stuff like that. And also my tricep strength grows. So I'd say it's a win-win. But anyway, on to some lat pull downs. Lat pull downs are essential for growing a wide back. I mean, look at that back. I mean, my shoulders are probably dominating my back, but yet again, do you want to be able to fly, or are you just going to stay stranded all your life? So by, you know, the way I like to think about it is just like how to, because I'm trying to activate the lower bits of my lats. So I try and like picture, you know, squeezing the muscle, like properly get into my mind of literally squeezing the muscle. So like bringing my elbows down, squeezing the lower bit of my back, and then letting it go. Not fully letting it go and then pulling it back down. As you can see, I don't go all the way back up because it keeps that tension on the lat. And me personally, the pumps and the growth from it, it's exquisite. As Sir Christopher Eubanks would say, it's splendid confectionery, you know. But anyway, less of my shit accents of southern people. But yeah, complete solid assets of some lat pull downs. Now, on to some rows. Just please don't mind, you know, my tank top coming a bit loose from my pants, and you can see a bit of my lower back. Thank God you ain't being moonshined, because trust me, the Caucasian, you know, ass is, you know, it's white, it's bright, and you will say goodnight. But yeah, some cable rows, they are, you know, they felt all right today. You know, I fell in my trapezius or whatever the fuck, traps, you know. You have a upper, lower, and middle trap, basically. And I used to just do shrugs, so just to stimulate my traps because I didn't feel it on this movement. But recently, the movement's got pretty good, so I'm just sticking with it so I can get some thickness in the back and, you know, hopefully have that demon back by the time, you know, or something. You know, we all want that, you know, Yujiro Hanuma back of it's just like got that like a V shape to it. It's got that Dorito look, you know. Meanwhile having the eyes and shit, you know. Which I kind of have, but not as big. But anyway, on some preach curls. Preaching to the Lord, my fucking biceps grow. Because, as I did say, my arms were absolutely skinny as shit. So, by doing like bicep preacher curls, you know, and then some like, I believe it's like cable, I call them cable curls. Some people say they're actually Bayesian cable curls or whatever the fuck the science-based lifting community like to say. I tend to find those are pretty good anyway. I just do them because they fucking work, and I do preach curls because they work. Like, I've tried and tested preach curls, and they do work. Coming from a skinny guy, yeah, they do work. They put size on your bicep, and trust me, if you train them like 2 to 3 times a week, you're gonna grow. So definitely my advice is implement some preach curls, especially single arm, because then you can help yourself, which you'll see myself here. I help myself a bit. I mean, I did like 2 sets with 16 and then 2 sets with 12. So yeah, I just say they fucking work. So yeah, that's all I can really say about preach curls. So yeah, the workout was pretty good. Still a shame I can't bench because I did like benching because I got up to 145 kilo bench, and yeah, and then my shoulder decides to take a fucking vacation, which is amazing. So yeah, overall workout was pretty great. Pump was pretty good. You know, I felt like you know, them Russian wrestlers, you know, the big fuck off ones. Felt like that guy in the gym. I just felt like pumped to shit and just like massive, which I wouldn't say I'm big, but I'm definitely bigger than most. So I wish I could say that about something else. But anyway, less about my insecurities. Yeah, pretty good workout, and yeah, you get to see my posing after the preacher curls.
Sexo agressivo, vou deixar sua bunda ardendo, vou dar tapa, tapa.